Hey youth, hey church family, hey everyone who may be tuning into this right now. If you don't know me, my name is Cochran. I just want to start out by saying that I am extremely humbled, extremely excited to be able to do this life in focus with y'all. This is a kind of a crazy time that we're living in right now. There's been nothing that's happened like this in my lifetime. I know that. There's a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of worry with some of the stuff that's going on, for the students. That's like, hey, what's going to happen with school? What's going to go on with there? What does that look like for adults, people my age, people older, college students? That's, hey, what's going to go on with my job? And of course, the job leads to the paycheck, so on and so forth. And I've seen a lot of anxiety and a lot of worry on social media, in the public, in the workplace about that. And that's kind of why I chose this passage. So hopefully, this morning during your quiet time, when you went over Isaiah 46, 8 through 11, the Lord revealed some beautiful truths that we'll go over to you. And then we're going to dig a little deeper into that right now. So a real quick overview with this, right? So Isaiah 46, the passages around Isaiah 46, this is about God using the prophet, right, to prophesy and prepare the people of Israel to prepare to be liberated from the Babylonians, right? So with Cyrus from Persia, all this is coming through, and Isaiah 46 specifically deals with the gods of Babylon. So with those gods, you got Baal and Nebu, and it's talking about how insufficient that they are, and how amazing that our God is. And the Lord is reminding his people, calling them to the one true God in this passage. So with that being said, let's go ahead and dig right into it, right? So Isaiah 46, 8 through 11. Remember this and stand firm. Recall it to mind, you transgressors. Remember the former things of old. For I am God, and there is no other. I am God, and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning, and from the ancient times things not yet done, saying, My counsel shall stand, and I will accomplish all my purpose, calling a bird of prey from the east, the man of my counsel from a far country. I have spoken, and I will bring it to pass. I have purposed, and I will do it. So what it's talking about there while he's prophesying, the bird from the east, bird of prey from the east, the man of counsel from a far country, he's talking about Cyrus, who's going to come and who's going to take over the Babylonian empire, embarrass them, right? And earlier in the passage, it talks about how insufficient the Babylonian gods were, and that they crouch and that they kneel, and that the gold that they're adorned with is going to be what exposes them. They can't even save themselves, much less the Babylonian people from what God is going to do to this nation. And then he reminds us as he goes through here about all the things that he's done and points these people back towards the one true God. So with that, let's dig into three truths that we can get from this passage, right? So we need to remember everything that the Lord has done in history and for us. So he calls his people when he says, remember this and stand firm, right? Remember the former things of old, for I am God and there is no other. What he's talking about is he's telling them to remember, and we need to remember in a time like this, the God that we serve. He's telling them, hey, remember in creation where I am the one who created the heavens and the earth. Remember when I brought you out of captivity in Egypt. Remember when I parted the Red Seas, when I made a covenant with Abraham. Remember when I performed these miracles over and over and over again, and I showed you and I made it painfully clear that I am the true and living God. I am the God who performs miracles. I am the God who sustained you, and who continues to sustain you. So that's something that can really bring us peace and comfort. Even now, looking back, we have the complete canon now. We have the Old and the New Testament. Let's remember what the Lord has done for us in sending his Son, who was crucified, buried, and then was resurrected and ascended to the right hand of the Father. The second thing that I would like to point out is, there's no one like our God. His counsel is good, he's righteous, and his purposes are good. So it tells us in verse 10, going into verse 11, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times things not yet done, saying, My counsel shall stand, and I will accomplish all of my purpose. Right? So the Lord, he is the one who, he takes counsel within himself. He's all wise, he's all merciful, he's all powerful, and he's in complete control of everything that's going on. There's no one like God. Constantly, he reminds us here that there's nothing that human hands can create. There's nothing that human minds can imagine that is anything like God. These idols that the Babylonians were worshiping, they were an idolatrous people. There's nothing that compares to God. He is so holy and so set apart from everything that's happening right here. He is the one who is worthy of our worship, and He is the one who's in control. And that leads us into the third thing that I'd like to point out, is that our God is sovereign, and His sovereign plan is going to come to pass. I so appreciate how the elders in our church speak about the sovereignty of God, and they constantly remind us of this biblical truth that He is in control. He is completely providential. He is completely sovereign. He was sovereign over His people in Babylonian captivity. He was sovereign over the cross. He was sovereign over creation. He was sovereign yesterday, today, and tomorrow. He's the same as all of it, as everything comes to pass. In this version, it says, He declared the end from the beginning, and from ancient times things not yet done. So at the beginning, He had already declared the end, and that's something that we can take rest in, right? And that can bring us comfort, that He's sovereign over this whole COVID-19 stuff. He's sovereign in the good times, He's sovereign in the bad times, and we can rest in that, and we can be reassured that we worship the one true God, the God who has continued to sustain us from the womb all the way until our old age, when it's time to die, and then we'll go to heaven and be able to worship Him forever. So those are some things that really stuck out to me, really brought me some comfort in some time like this, to where the nation, the world, is looking to their government officials, their doctors, their educators, and demanding answers. And those are just answers that men cannot give us. But this is a beautiful time to show the world the rest that we have in Christ Jesus, the hope that He's given us even in these times of uncertainty, times of trial, times where everyone else is freaking out. Obviously, some people will have that anxiety and that worry, but we can take hope and we can take rest in the fact of knowing everything the Lord has done for us, and remembering that there's no one like our God, and in glorifying Him because He is sovereign and He's in control of it all. So with that being said, guys, I really miss y'all. I can't wait to come together corporately and be able to worship with you again. I am praying for you, and I know that you will continue to pray for me. And if there's anything that I can do for you, please reach out. Thanks.